Welcome to this partner webinar. Sorry for mixing up the invitations a bit and being a bit late on it. We scheduled these time slots in, when was it, April or May or something like that? And
April, yeah, I think.
Yeah, and we put them out in the calendar, but not all of them went out with full invitations. We had just made the internal placeholder, so sorry for that. So very good that so many of you could actually join on such a short notice. So thank you for that. We probably won't use the full hour today. Just a short status from my side, and then Jørgen will share a bit from Northcom, which is an interesting project, which we probably could have used an hour on in itself, but maybe that's for another time. And then Rune will also share a recent win, Steelwork, and then we have the next events coming up, so that we just sync them. So even if we mix up the invitations next time, you have them in your calendar if there's someone you want to flag already. Okay. Just to sum up some recent wins and some comments on it. I won't steal the thunder from Rune and Jørgen, of course. But Steelwork is a contract that was signed last week, where Mazeppa has been part of the sales side and also will join on some of the implementation. It's a local case here in Bryne, next to Stavanger. Elteco is another case that Rune actually was part of or led. Oh, sorry. I just have a screen here that wanted to shut off. Yeah. The interesting thing with Elteco is that even if it's small, it's a pure distribution case. So it's fun to see that we also can win more of these pure distribution cases. So they have few users, but they have quite high turnover. And it's a really interesting case, and it has been a good sales process as well. So that's an interesting win, which also helps us, have more references on the distribution side, which of course leads us directly to Northcom, which is a much bigger case, but also a distribution case. Also with an international focus. So these two cases together shows that we now have that it is possible to also target and focus on these cases and actually win them. So that's a really good sign in the market, I think. Also put on two other cases. Testometric is a quite small manufacturing case in the UK, but also a good one. It's a pure OEM. So in theory, it's quite like Easy Laser in how they work, but of course they are a bit smaller. But it's to many of the same types of customers. And Expodul, which also is a case Ariser won. And the reason I bring up that is here we had a good way of challenging the configuration or configurator ghost that sometimes taunts us, because Expodul had built their own configurator, and then we will integrate it to RAMBase. So in this case, it was it didn't hurt us that we don't have an internal configurator in RAMBase. So that's a good win as well, and it also shows that the point of having a configurator or not, it's not yes or no in all types of cases. It usually demands some follow-up questions, and of course sometimes they want us to deliver it and we don't, or want us to have it internally, and when we don't, we are excluded. We have had quite a few of those cases, but sometimes there are other ways of handling it if they actually either have their own made or if they want to look at third-party products. So when we have now Expodul and also then Rapomec that Ariser has delivered, we see that at least it's possible to handle in configuration cases in RAMBase as well. Some quick learnings on it. There is fierce competition on everything in all countries. Really, none of those cases here we had for ourselves. We have competed against Monitor, against Jeeves, Microsoft, really everything. So we need to be on top of our game all the time, really. Also, quite a few of these cases we have cooperated closer than usual, maybe. And I think that's a good thing, that we can kind of co-sell and be together on these cases and strengthen each other on it. So that's a really good sign and a good way of winning, I think. And especially with the case on Northcom, it's a case of stretching the system in what I call a controlled way. There are some kind of admittance from our product department there, that they will actually do some development regarding that case, and they have been involved underways in the case. So it shows that if it's the right type of case, there is a possibility to actually stretch the system in the right direction through the case. Then on to what we are working on kind of more internally. Some of you, the ones who was in Stavanger before summer, I kind of shared some of this with. We have come a step further. There are still lots of things to do. So the things you will see now is kind of work in progress. It's not official slides. They are not meant to be shown to anyone else. So please keep it for yourself. That said, it's not that secret either, and it's not that special, but it's a good step in the right direction of being more in control of what we actually sell, and getting away from the features and functions discussions and over to the value discussions, which everyone talks about and everyone wants to do, but it shows to be kind of more difficult in practice than it is in theory. We are working on a quite big framework, and it won't fit all cases. It won't fit all target customers, but as part of that, we will kind of generally lift in my view, the kind of quality of the presentation material, training material, and the marketing as well. And what it really is a value outcome model to show, okay, what are we delivering on a value outcome framework, instead of what type of functionality do we deliver. To do that, you need to be kind of in sync with the brand and the system from start to finish in the sales process. And we know, especially from our target groups, and especially in the smaller side of it, that can be difficult. So this has to be used with some finesse to be used the right way on our target customers, I think. In general, it's a 3-level model, where the basic level is, okay, this is what RamBase is, and you need to add on that and elaborate on this is what the partner offers in addition to what RamBase is. And then we have the next level, where we go one step deeper to say, okay, this is how we fit the different industries. And then you go to the third level, which is really kind of down to the details. These are the outcomes that RamBase can help you with their customer. It might look something like this at the basic level. This is what RamBase is. This is what we offer. It's a pure industry solution, which has some positive sides with it, kind of compared to a generic solution. We focus a lot on governance. Everything is connected from the shop floor all the way up to finance, including risk and quality and issue management and all of this. It's a secure solution. It has the segregation of duties and everything, so that you have control of your governance of your company. And then, of course, the technology side is one part of it, and we still strive to keep it a bit simple for the customers. So this is will be enough. When it's finished, it will be kind of a official slide that you can use. And from my side, the important thing here is that you, of course, build on top of that and say, okay, this is how Mazepa adds onto this, and this is how Arizer adds even more to this, so that you actually get your own spin on that as well. And then we are working on some kind of more detailed kind of solution overviews and stuff like that. It can be graphical ones, but it also can be really detailed ones, where you actually go really down to the different industry problems and have capabilities in the system for them, and you have a targeted outcome. And in an ideal world, you also are able to kind of highlight the benefits already from the starts and actually build a business case together with the customers on what you are to deliver. And as I say, this will be quite an extensive framework, and this isn't meant to be shown to the customers. This is meant to kind of enable the pre-sales and sales resources, and also all the way into implementation. But it gives us more kind of a stronger foundation of what we sell, how we pitch, how we win the customer. Really, that's at least the plan with it. Yeah. So, any questions on this value outcome? Things. As I say, it's still work in progress. That's okay. Everyone is silent.
All looks good.
Sounds good.
Yeah, good. To round off my short intro here, then, what we also are working internally on, we try to lift our focus on size to go a bit bigger on cases, try to disqualify more on the smallest cases. We struggle with them on price. We struggle with them also on maturity, and often it's a lot of fuss and not too much money on it, to be honest. So we try to lift ourselves there a bit, and also we try to be even more better on qualifying out when really the customer are of a type that want to do a lot of special things for their own, and really doesn't accept kind of the SaaS framework, to put it that way. We are generating a lot of meetings, and it's important to focus on that is meetings. It's not qualified leads, it's meetings, people agreeing to talk to us and think that it's interesting to have a talk. Especially in Norway. So this is a thing we will work a bit on the next quarter as well, to see how we can do this next year to share even more of it. We have shared some of it already now with a few of you, and we will look at a model on how we can kind of expand that to include more of you. We also are, as many of you already have noticed, focusing really on the Pipedrive side and kind of the transparency and the details in Pipedrive. And we try to be more available on pre-sales to help you, Jon and his team, to actually help you and have the discussions on that, and yeah, work closer together with you in the sales process. That was my intro. So now I hope that Rune, can take over and share some insights on Northcom.
Yes, I can do. Let's see if I can share my screen. Can you see it?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good. Yes, I'm Jørgen from Arribatec. For those of you who don't know me, I work with sales here, primarily on RAMBase ERP. Yes, I'm going to take you through the Northcom case that we had, that we won for just after the summer, I think it was signed. Yeah, it's been a long story, but I think for a year ago or something, we started the dialogue with Northcom together with the RAMBase. Northcom is based in Norway. They have their headquarters in Oslo. They are a distributor of how do you say it in English? Secure communication to police, shipping industry, for example, to make sure that the communication platform is secure and unbreakable. So that's what they deliver. They have offices in the Nordics. They are in Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and Finland, mainly divided into 9 companies. They have some holding company and some other property, or some small companies. But in terms of this business, they are 9 companies in the Nordics. It started with an RFQ from Beauvais, a consultancy company. I don't think we were initially a part of it, but I think some employees in Northcom had some experiences with RamBase from before. So I think they gave Beauvais a message and said that we would like to include RamBase in the RFQ. So I think that's why we got it. That's very good. To be included. So we went into the meetings with, I think it was Ketil and me and some of our consultancies, and the dialogue started through a quite traditional RFQ. And after that initial period, it was down to 3. It was down to us and Microsoft and Jeeves, and then it was a bit back and forth. They were bought by Møller, a well-known company in Norway, a distributor for Volkswagen and Audi, among others. So they were bought by them, so the process stopped, and we were like, okay, that's never good when it comes to sales, that the process stops, because we didn't know why. We just got a message that we need to stop for a month or something, and we'll get back to you when we are ready to focus on the process. And but we were very glad that they still decided to continue as originally planned to buy a new system for those companies. So we were down to 3. We got the message that they were a bit unsecure on us, on the product, on the maturity of it. But they really liked RamBase. I think I've said this before after the preliminary project that we had. So, but we didn't like that message. So we really wanted to continue the process. So together with you, RamBase, with the Ketil and sales and the product department, Jonas, Torvald, etc. We asked for a longer meeting with them to discuss like the plan, the roadmap, where are we heading, because we really wanted the case and we thought it was a good fit, as Odd Magne said, mainly because of the strategy that RamBase has. It was a good fit, their needs to the solution. So they accepted that, and we agreed upon a preliminary project that we did, a quite good deal for us as well. So we got paid for the whole preliminary project, and it went quite well. So finally they agreed to continue, and they chose us and RamBase as their solution. So to the right here, I've summed up the phase 1 scope. I know you said 150 of Magnen. I think that's quite right. But they will start with Norway and Sweden. And the plan is to go live 1st of January. We do have a dialogue with them that it might be that if we need it, we can use a little bit longer time, but internally that's not communicated, because they want their employees to strive for the go live 1st of January. So that's what we're working on. So it's a very good deal. It's 119 users in phase 1, and then they will add on the companies in Denmark and Finland. It's a big project for us. I think it's estimated around 2.5 million NOK in services, and there will also be work to do when it comes to the integrations. We're in a kartlegging. We're talking about the integrations now and trying to find out who are going to take lead and the responsibility to do the integrations that they have. So it will be some work there, or a lot. And yeah, there are some new experiences for us in the case as well. I'll get back to that. So I think the modules that they use is shown here. Like I said, they're a distributor, so they, of course, they do sales, procurement, logistics. They have an assembly. They'll use it for assembly. They're not quite a complex manufacturer in that way. So that will be a part of the solution. Of course, with the finance, they do service, so that will be quite interesting in the project as well. And what is some news for us here, or some new experiences for us, is that they do have intercompany transactions, of course. So that will be a good experience for us and RamBase, I think, to set up a solution that will support them with that. And they will also they are also in need of a common product register. So that is one of the key areas that we have got commitment from RamBase to develop. So they will have a shared register on all the companies instead of having separate product registers. So that's very interesting. And they also wanted some new functionality in the rental function, so we got commitment on that as well, and also some changes in the job order, the old pod. What do you call it now? Job order management.
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, it's job order management. Yeah.
Yeah. So it has been a great contribution from RamBase as well. I think we had a very good commitment from you. We have worked together with you and together with the customer. Eldin, I want to give him some credits here. He has been the main man from RamBase. He has been helping us in a very good way in the preliminary project. So that has been, we're very grateful for that. Yeah, and they do have some other external systems as well in terms of the integration. They use HubSpot CRM, which I also think is very interesting when it comes to like a more distributor company, which mainly, or which I think have typical some other needs that makes the traditional CRM module in RamBase not good enough in terms of activities, ticket management, pipeline, customer dialogue, or the relationship that they need to support. They will continue to use HubSpot on that, and we will integrate it with the sales module in terms of offering from or the pipeline management from HubSpot. They will do the sales quoting, and the sales order processes will be done in RamBase, and it will integrate back to HubSpot so they can synchronize order items and follow up on do the pipeline management in HubSpot and the marketing processes, ticketing management. So that's good. They will do that through the Azure Service Bus, which is a message provider, or what I should call it, which they have internally. So everything will go through the Azure Service Bus, and they also have another what do you call that? Like a management system where also the suppliers are. It's called Landax. So I think still the plan is to set up an integration between RamBase and Landax in the project. So yeah, and they have WebShop and other core systems as well that we need to integrate with. So yeah, it's a very good experience for us. It gives us some new challenges, and I think it will be beneficial for both us and you to deliver on maybe some new areas that are maybe unknown for a lot of us, and hopefully we can use that experience in future cases that will come our way. Yeah, I think maybe I forgot something important. If anyone has some questions or some comments, feel free.
No questions.
I think it's just the applause.
Yeah. Welcome.
Very well done,
Excellent.
Jørgen.
Congratulations.
It's a great win.
Fantastic
Thank you.
case.
Thank you. It's a great win, and it's a great contribution from a lot of people in both RamBase and Arribatec. So yeah, great one.
Have you announced that publicly yet, Jørgen, with your company as a win story?
Yes, I agreed with the CFO. I gave her a suggestion on an email, a short story that we can put out on the internet. So, and she said that's fine. So I think it's in the backlog internally in Arribatec. So it will be out there. I guess maybe next week we will publish it.
As soon as that.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That's great news.
Mm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One question thing, I think, from Martin or?
Oh, yeah, I was muted. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question. Can you detail a bit more about during this preliminary project that you underwent? What did it consist of? Just you give a very broad outline of the content.
Yeah, I can do. Good question, and that was also something that we brought the suggestion to the table. We said, okay, in the project we suggest to do this, and it was like a pretty classic preliminary project. I think we highlighted the key areas in that we thought that it will be very good to discuss with the customer. For instance, the more difficult things that we knew was coming. So that was what we suggested, but then they said to us that, okay, we want to change the approach a bit because we have done a lot with Bouvet, the consultancy company, and we have done a lot of like a mapping, the exploring that they have done internally to document and to describe their processes. So they really didn't want to go and do that again. So then we agreed upon something that I liked, and that was that we took like the standard RamBase as that was what we discussed. We're like, okay, we set up a test environment. We, based on what we know, we configured it, or in the test environment, we set up the solution based on the standard processes and those things that we knew, like standard intercompany between Norway and Sweden. And we went through that. So we went through the standard and we tried to find the deviations on the standard. So we focused it on that instead of, and we gave them training and knowledge on the standard solution. So we went that way instead of like sitting around the table with with a whiteboard and drawings and trying to figure out how they worked. So that's what we did. So I think it was around 200. I think we spent around almost 200 hours, I think, on the preliminary project.
So you went hands-on instead, and I like that approach. A great insight, I think, to a bit untraditional, but I really like that approach. Yeah,
and I think that was good because a lot of things are standard, and when they also have described it and they had done it before. So I think I agree with the customer that it was a good suggestion to do it that way.
And all the deviations become so obvious when you just do the standard. It will be very clear from everyone, and they also gain a lot of insight on what they will work in. So I think both can benefit greatly from this. Yeah. So I really like this approach.
Yeah, a little bit of comment on that also. because of course we knew that there was a few gaps on it, so that was also kind of a part of the pre-project there, and was to get that list agreed on, both where they initially thought they had a gap and where they actually have kind of checked it out that they are okay with the standard or the workaround. To be very clear on that. So of course that went on all the way to the final contract signing, but there was, I think, almost half of the gap list was kind of checked off from them, that they could live without development on it, that they actually accepted the workaround on it. And so the things we kind of had to agree on doing something with and make something around, that was quite a short list in the end. That being said, we had a much shorter list from the start than this Easy Laser RFQ. For at least Ludwig, who remembers that one, where we had 400 points or what it was that we needed to check out all the time. So they agreed on a bit higher level on these things, but it was good to see that we kind of could work through many of the points that we thought to be gaps, but actually ended up not having to promise any development on it.
Yeah, and time flies fast, so they really wanted to focus on the go live 1st of January. So when the summer came, the weeks went really fast. They also understood that they really need to prioritize what was key and what was priority towards the go live date, and what can we wait with. So it forced its way through, I think, to in terms of the short time that we have.
It's 1st of January now, the coming 1st of January.
Yes.
Okay. So how is it going?
I haven't been really involved for the last weeks, but I know that they are working. In the project now. So I haven't heard anything yet that there's some big obstacles, but it might be that we will need some more time, and I think they are comfortable with that if we can't reach it.
It was a trick question.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for sharing this. It's a great insights, I think.
One question for me also, I'm not sure if you said it in the beginning, but did they have an ERP system from before, or is it the first time?
Yeah, it was very, very divided. They have a lot of solutions and internally in the different countries. So so we will. That was, of course, one of the key things here, to streamline the processes in one common ERP system. So
It's interesting.
Good. Rune, should we jump to you?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I
expect, Jørgen, that we will get a follow-up on this at a later stage, so we can keep the rest of the tension until that.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, then let's roll. This is Steelwork. I actually thought I gave you a little film from the start. Let's see if that works. All right. So did you get the music as well?
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's the first time I did it like this. So it's that's a good thing. All right. So this is Steelwork. I placed it in the slide that we often use with machining industry, and as you can see, they are about 90 employees and really not any own products. What they do is make to order. So and I would say it's a perfect fit. They have about 190 million NOK in revenue each year. They have been growing a lot lately. So what they do is prefabrication, that's cutting and things like that, engineering, machining, welding, and it's a lot of different industries as well as oil and gas, construction, maritime, and green technology, as you know. They have a solution today that's called ProdSys. That is I would say a lightweight ERP system in the Norwegian market. Lightweight in terms of it's really 1 or 2 persons with some developers abroad making the solution. And the technology is not very impressive, but they have a lot of functionality that's actually been useful for many production companies. And they've been using Prodsys actually for many years, all the way since the start, I believe. They chose us, and there will be some third-party solutions as well that's going to be integrated. Weldeye and Robex. PowerOffice Go is just a very small payroll system, and also a shipping solution called Consigner and Shift. So that's the 4 third-party solutions that will be integrated, and actually the integrations already exist. With Robex, we have several customers from before. Weldeye, there was made integration for the Årbakke project, and that's Mazepa, who's the owner of that integration. So it's a good thing that we can use things that's already made.
We also have Consigner and Shift integration for 2 Ambase.
Yeah, we had that for years. Yeah, so yeah. That's good. I must say, let's go there first. This has been a really, really long sales process. And I must also say that the customer, even though they have been using a system, even though they are it's a good company with great people and all that, to buy an ERP system is not something that they do every day. So they really don't know how to go into that. So in terms of being a solid company, they are mature. In terms of using and buying a new ERP system, they are not mature at all. That was a very demanding process. Let's go into it. We started in 2021, September. There was some questions on our website that they was interested in trying to find a new solution. There was some meetings, there were a wish list or a list of demands, and there was a lot of demos, and that actually went through all the way through 2022. And they were also looking at all the systems. That was just a very slow process. And we also worked with Mazepa for some of that. 2023, January, they say that, okay, we just put it on hold because Prodsys had promised some new functionality. And so they just said, let's wait and see. 2024, January, that's when they say that, no, we are keeping Prodsys. We are not going to get another ERP system. So that's when they were set as sales nurture, not qualified lead anymore in Pipedrive. That's 2024, January. And then let's go another year from there. 2025, there is a new, they contacted actually one of the consultants in Rambase directly. That's Aud Hege. I don't know why they contacted her, but I think there are some relations, and one of the employees knew her from before.
Someone who knows each other, yeah.
Yeah. So she started a new process, and that's the first time I got into this case. There was some rumors about Monitor was on the stage suddenly. From before, we knew that Sigma 360 was one of the things that they looked at. But now Monitor is suddenly on the stage, and they were really eager to get there. So in January, we got a new list of demands, better this time, more complete, but still some of it a wish list. And then the frustration really starts because we tried to get meetings, and they did not want to meet us. They said, you have to make films. You have to record the process and the use cases that we send you. And they would do the same with all the other, with the 3 other vendors. That was Sigma and Monitor and us. So, okay, we tried to make as good as a demo that we could and sent it over, and they were looking at it, more or less conscious maybe, but still they just looked at it, and we had no possibility to actually see the response and to answer questions. They were just keeping everything very tight to the chest, so we didn't get to meet them. Before, yes, actually it's we got the message in March that it's down to us and Monitor. The 10th of April, that was just before Easter this year, we got them to agree to a 4-hour deep dive, really, to answer the questions that after they had seen the films. And that was a terrible meeting. After 2 hours, they just left. We tried to, we had, with no warning, we had said that they need to prepare the questions and the important issues for them. There were none. So after 2 hours, that was just a frustration. And we got the very clear sense of that they had chosen Monitor already. That was the feeling that we had when we went out of that meeting. That was terrible. There was one guy left in the meeting when the other went. That was the COO, former CEO, and one of the ones who started the company. And I said, after the meeting, I said, I'm really worried about you guys, because you think that you actually have a base to make a decision. But I would say you have not. If you treated the other vendor like you treated us, you have no idea actually what you are buying or what decision you are making, because we have not had the time to work with you. And I explained in detail what the process should have been. And he said, let's have a meeting just after Easter and go through this again. So after Easter, let's see if I can do this right. Yeah. There we are. After Easter, I had a sit down with the CFO and COO, and I said, you are really not ready to make the decision, and I would suggest this. And I presented a plan to make sure that they really understood. And I said, use the same plan for Monitor as well, because you really need to go deep on this. And so we agreed on that. We had a new meeting, a deep dive for 8 hours, the 13th of May. And this time, all of them were really good prepared. They had their lists, they had all their issues, and they were ready to discuss. And for those 8 hours, we had, that was a really, really good meeting, because we had all the important discussions, and they were checking out that they really understood what we were selling. Then we had a separate demo for the finance module, and also then they brought their external accountant, who was trying to decide which of the solutions would be best for her or for their company. That was really good. Elisabeth Kvarnland was doing that on site. It was early clear that these guys, they need a proper production planner. The one that we have is not enough. They need something stronger. They need to be really agile on that. They are replanning their production at least 2 times a day. That's the way it works today, because it's they have some long processes, but they also need to have to take ad hoc, really fast jobs in between and all that. So we had a demo with Robex the 3rd of June. That went really well. That was also on site. Robex came to Bryne. After that, we went to Årbakke as for reference, and actually both the chairman and the CEO of Årbakke, plus a lot of their team, were there putting on a show, I would say. Magne from Asepa also was a part of that, really good. And so that was perfect, actually, because what they really did was giving a demo of RamBase, how they use it from the finance perspective and from the management perspective. So it was really good. So after, 30th of June, just before the summer holiday, And actually, the day before, everyone in Steelwork went for holiday. The day before, they gave us their acceptance, not in writing, but just said. And actually, they had a vote in the management group, and we won with just one vote difference. So really, really, really close case with us and Monitor in that case, I must say. And it's not very often that I put on a very strict voice in a customer meeting, but this time I did, because I said, you guys, and I thought, if I don't do anything, I will lose, because the feeling in the meetings and all was we're out. But they listened to me, and quite impressive. We got them into our plan in how to buy a system. So that was good. So then it was summer, and thanks a lot. And then they decided to get in a new external project manager. That was not mentioned before at any time, so she was not a part of the buying process. But when we got to the contract, she was reading it quite thoroughly. And I needed Odd Magne to be a part of a meeting on site to just discuss the final things in the contract before they signed the 19th of September. And that was, I must say, a really happy day. 1st of October, basically they have started with, at least we have, with some internal processes, and they will go live the 1st of March in 2026. Any questions? No questions. Thank you.
I have a comment, of course, and I think kind of with a pointer back to my side of kind of value outcome and all of this. This is kind of what I talk about there is the kind of the ideal state, of course. But I must say, maybe this is an extreme case, but still this is real life. This is how it is. And as you say, we could have just kind of accepted that bad meeting just before Easter and said, okay, we did our part. But the reality is that they need help on the buying process. So if we just take their words for granted, many of them will make strange choices, I think. And we had those, I think I mentioned it before, it's quite old data, but we did the survey, I think it's 4 or 5 years ago, on the SME sector in Norway. And one of the questions was if they had their own business cases, or if they wanted to make them, and if they wanted the vendor to help making them. And I think it was close to between 80 and 90% that wanted vendor help to make their own business cases. So we don't have to be kind of shy to step into their buying process, I think, and to actually help them make decisions and help them with the process, because most of them really don't know how to, because they don't do it that often. And of course, not all of them will let us in. Some of them keep us at arm's length and always will, but some of them will actually receive that help gladly. And we know that they did at least some of the steps together with Monitor as well. We know they had a full day finance demo with them as well. So it wasn't like we got them on our own after that. We know that they worked with Monitor in parallel. So it was what can I say, an honest fight until the end. But I'm quite sure, as you say, if we hadn't done anything after that meeting before Easter, we would have been out.
I would like to say also that that's actually not the same case. I have another case that's waiting for a signature as we speak. But in that case, I asked the CEO if he needed anything from me into the board meeting, because he needed an acceptance from the board before he could go into the final stages in the sales process with us. And together with me, we set up our return of investment analysis and tried to go into the different positions that he had in his company and what would the effect be of changing ERP system for those positions in terms of freeing capacity to actually do some production work instead of what they actually were doing, trying to coordinate and running back and forth and asking questions and all that. So he ended up with giving me the numbers. They are about 30 people, and he gave me the numbers that between 2 and 3 people or work for 2 to 3 people would be freed to do meaningful work instead of what they were doing today. So that's 2.5-3 million a year almost, if we take all the cost. That's actually his cost that is freed. So the ROI was return on investment analysis was really important to get the board on board to be a part of this. And sometimes we should ask them to actually, can we help you make that return on investment analysis to see the effect of changing system? So I didn't need to do that with the steelwork, but I did that with the other case, and that was really important. That was just tips. Jørgen.
Question? Yes. Okay. Congratulations, Rune and everyone. Great case. The ROI analysis that you talked about now, in terms of coming up with the right questions, and did you use templates or just your own knowledge, or how did you do that?
Basically knowledge, and I knew that we were asking where they were using a lot of time today, and actually documentation was the big one, the really big one, but also coordination, that they had to run back and forth, and some from the production had to get into the office and ask questions and go back down again. And they also started productions without all the parts actually has been received, so then they had to postpone that production and start on another one and all that. So that was the problems. So basically what I did was drilling down and say that how much time do you think you use on things like that? And that's, I'm sorry. Basically it's drilling down to the problems and trying to ask what is the value of getting those problems solved, because the value is all of it. It's easy to find the cost of a new system, but it's really important to find the cost of not having a new system. What is actually happening there? And even better, if you can get that cost is one focus, but if you can free 3 people to actually do some production work, that would be not only cost that you are reducing, but you are actually gaining some production capacity. That will give you more revenue. So that's the value of it. So cost value analysis, but it doesn't have to be very complicated. It's just important to drill down into the problems that they have and ask them for the estimate. Because I can say that, but my experience is that we can free 2 to 3 people in the size yours. You won't believe me. But if I say that, okay, let's look at these processes that you have, what would you think could be freed if we do it like this instead? What is your numbers on that? That's really important.
Cool.
A great war story, Rune.
Thanks.
Very exciting to hear. Impressive.
And it's exciting to be a part of. It's fun to sell, isn't it?
I have another question, Rune. Do they have large? I just went into the web page. Do they have big projects or small projects? If we can use the project terminology.
Yes, they have.
Steelwork.
They have.
Okay.
They have some that last for months, really complicated, and they have really fast jobs that has to be delivered next week. They sell it today and you have to deliver next week.
Okay, that's interesting, because we have a couple of cases now, which we are in dialogue with you in with some colleagues of you in RamBase when it comes to how to handle project accounting and those types of issues that we know about, to find a good solution for those types of projects, because we're also into a case now which which could look a bit like this, and they make big constructions subsea, and project accounting is very important for them. So we have to find a good answer on that.
There's a lot of cases like that right now.
Good. Very good. Any
Yes.
more questions?
Then we are at the top of the hour.
Yeah, I think we are. So maybe thank you to Rune and to Jørgen. It's really, really interesting to hear these cases, and I hope it also is useful for the other partners, to listen to this. Should we take up the last slide of Magne?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I don't know. You can talk about Magne, or should I?
Yeah, I'm not sure there's so much. Just note the dates. There will be individual invites to them. There is this.
We also, I'm not sure if we are going to have this partner webinar on finance. We haven't. We have the quality and risk in November.
Yes, we will try to make the finance one as well. It's important. So we just need to get it done really. So yeah. I think it's just note the dates and then we'll get the invites out as quick as we can.
Yeah, we'll check all these and get it out. Good.
Yes.
Do we have any more questions or anything? I think we have these. We should have these meetings quite often, as we said here, and we'll set up a schedule also for the next year. Soon, so that we can get that info out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.